Okay, so the critical incident that I experienced is related to time management and also in the class and also to misunderstood instructions. So this, I mean, this critical event, it was significant to me because by this I was able to understand and I was able also to highlight how crucial it is, the role of clear communication, and not only that but also effective time management itself. And I think that this is very important in order to facilitate the understanding of the students and to facilitate as well their learning process, right? So with that said, um, let me tell a little bit about the event. First of all, what happened before is that this is something that happened like in four different classes in a row. It was not something that happened in one class. It was constantly like one class after the other, and I was studying. I was just studying, giving the classes at the school. So well, let me tell you. And so pretty much I begin the classes with a warm up activity. Then I made an explanation, but not a clear explanation. It was like I wrote something on the whiteboard, and while I wrote and while I wait for the students to write everything that was on the whiteboard, I began to make an explanation of the topic for them to have it clear, for them to understand what they were writing, right? So once they finished, sometimes I took like a lot of time in that part, and we didn't set aside enough time in order to practice for it. So because of the time was ticking, and then we were running out of time and time was flying, I decided that we should go directly to the assessment, or to the I could say it could be also like the productive part, in which I asked my students to make some sentences based on what they have written and on what I have explained, even though they didn't have enough time to practice. So yeah, that's pretty much what happens. uh, I provided them with the instructions of what they had to do for the exercise, and after that, of course, all my students were kind of confused. It was not clear enough for them, and the instructions that I have provided to them, not only because maybe I didn't make myself clear at the moment of giving the instructions, because I could say, for example, no, you have to make three sentences with the verb to be in simple present, so in present, sorry. And so it's like you have to do an affirmative, a negative, and then an interrogative one. And after that you have to do another sentence, but with a different verb, not being the verb to be, also in simple present, in affirmative, negative, and interrogative, right? So that was, for example, that was uh, one of the instructions that I gave in one of the classes, and the students were like, okay, I'm gonna do it. But then it seemed that they didn't catch the idea well, and that the explanation of the topic was not good enough. You see what I'm saying? And then it was hard. It was hard because, mm, mm, like, yeah, no one, no any student were able to comprehend what I wanted them to do. So it was hard. It was hard because I had to explain everything once again, and that took me a lot of time. So yeah, I mean, at the moment, at the time of the event, I reacted by addressing the misunderstanding promptly, and providing additional clarification was also necessary to ensure that all of them could understand a little bit the instructions, and also the topic. And the interpretation that I might get from this event is that, mm, well, we can underscore the importance of detail or meticulous lesson planning. That's something that I have to improve on as well, and also the proactive communication in order to prevent misunderstandings, right? Another thing that, let's say, talking about assumptions, mm, I think that talking about assumptions, um, we must consider the fact that prior knowledge and like making sure that the students are ready to engage with the material are necessary, are essential. And now, of course, I mean, I have reflected on this critical incident, and absolutely, I had to react in a different manner. I think that I should have reacted in a different manner. Maybe, um, I mean, of course, I would if I had the chance to do it once again. Of course, I'll do everything different, right? Um, if it happened again, by implementing, I would use, like some strategies to check for understanding more frequently throughout the lesson, and proactively also addressing that kind of confusion and misunderstanding that arise during the lesson. So this I think that this approach could help to ensure that all the students have a clear understanding of the instructions and also of the topic, and that they are going to be able to fully participate in the learning activities. So, in a few words, yes, I would, um, yeah, I would react different somehow. I would I would do my best to make sure that they did understand the topic, but that my instructions were clear enough. That's something I have to improve on, and well, I think that's a step by step, right? Step by step, but I have to work on that like right away, like right now. So yeah, that's pretty much the critical incident that happened to me. It was in a negative way, but I think that those things also help us to improve as teachers, since we're just starting this process, and this is helpful. This is helpful for me to be better, for me to understand how students understand, and then yeah, I think that was helpful. That was pretty helpful. So thank you so much, and blessings.